Hello, beloved friends. I'm Reverend Kira and delighted to be back with you again to continue the fourth part of our series on the 15 commitments of conscious leadership. This is such powerful material, and it's really about how are we living our lives, taking full responsibility for consciously being the leader of our own lives. And as we do, we transform not only our lives, our relationships, our health, our congruence within ourselves, but we transform our world. And I want to invite you to take a look at our previous videos on Unity Bay Area Houston Facebook page. Both we have Sunday services that are dedicated to this material, as well as my weekly blog. Or YouTube, Kira Bear, Reverend Kira Bear is where you're going to find our YouTube vlogs each week on this material, and I really highly recommend this. It is a powerful time for us to take action in our lives to become fully embodied as the living Christ consciousness, Buddha nature, divine oneness, awareness, whatever word or name you want to put to it. I am not going to spend time on all the past particulars, because if I do, I won't get to what we need in this week's video. But I do invite you to look at the previous ones, because this is some very, very powerful material. And it is a time for us to really claim ourselves in who we are being and how we are serving in this world. And taking that time to become a spiritual master of owning responsibility for my own spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional well-being is really a place where, as we become conscious leaders, we create a world of conscious leaders. And that's how we transform everything. So I want to invite us, first of all, to know, I'll just speak what these are, that we first looked at living above the line versus below the line. That is, that we are committed to learning, and we're curious, and we're open. That we are moving beyond the victim consciousness into that place where we are a co-creator with the infinite. And as we are transforming that, that is a very real and practical way of bringing spirituality into this world. This is not about going outside of ourselves and having a glorious, phenomenal experience. It's about bringing our well-being and our awareness into our everyday lives. That's where transformation exists at this time. And we're doing that through these 15 commitments. And the first commitment was taking radical responsibility, 100% responsibility for our own well-being, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and not taking it for someone else, but holding others accountable for that for themselves as well. Then we went into learning through curiosity, that childlike wonder and curious nature that keeps us constantly learning and growing rather than fighting to be right. Next was commitment number 3, which was feeling all feelings all the way to completion. All the way to completion. That means we release and allow, and yet we complete so that we're not carrying the past forward into the future. Next, we were speaking candidly. And hopefully we still are, speaking candidly. And that means that we are in truthfulness, that we are in awareness of our true, what we want to speak. Truthfulness means that we are really accurate, and that we are open, and that we're speaking 100% of our truth. So as we're speaking candidly, we're learning to master ourselves and our awareness in huge ways. And it's such a powerful piece. And it leads to the next commitment, which is eliminating gossip. Because if we're speaking candidly, there's no need for gossip. And gossip is such a destructive force. So we're taking responsibility to eliminate gossip from our own lives and from what we allow into our field of awareness. How do we consciously engage leadership in our lives, and really, as a spiritual leader and as a spiritual being having a human existence, one of them is that we speak directly to those that we have challenges with, and that's learning to speak candidly, even when it's uncomfortable. We eliminate gossip, and the next commitment that we went into was practicing integrity. Woo, okay, practicing integrity means integrated wholeness, that I'm acknowledging myself as a whole being, spiritual and human, and I am integrated, and I see myself in congruence and alignment with my highest self. and with myself in physical form. I'm not in denial of any aspect of myself. So as we are practicing integrity, then I am looking at where am I in congruency and in alignment. And then the next one we went into was generating appreciation. Oh, appreciation brings forth a softening in our soul, an acknowledgement of the highest expression in every aspect of creation, in every being, and everything that we encounter, and every experience and circumstance as an opportunity to appreciate and learn and grow. And as we do that, then we live lives so much fuller and so much more able to see the good and the amazing gift of life in every moment, in every circumstance, in every person. We moved from there into excelling in your zone of genius. Well, the commitment to excel in our own zone of genius is to recognize, first of all, that we have a zone of genius. Yes, we have things we're really, really good at. We have things that we love, things that we don't love. But many of us settle for something less than our true genius. So where do we look at what is it to live out and put our time, our energy, our attention on the places that are our natural genius? And it begins to bless ourselves and bless our world, because we're meant to bring our genius to life. And we need the genius that each one of us carry. And so we learn to do that. And as we learn to do that for ourselves, we also honor the genius in each other person. We acknowledge their gifts and their talents, and we support them in bringing their genius and excelling in that in the world. And that's where we're really using the creative flow of the universe in the most powerful and amazing ways. And then we move into living a life of play and rest. We are in the yin and the yang, the flow of the conscious energy, and that it requires us to not just be workaholics or to be pushing towards goals every moment, but to relax into who we're being. To live at play and allow the creative play to bring us the juiciness of life, and live from that creative juice and bring it forth into the world. And as we play in that and we rest in the moments that call for rest. How many of us have lived much of life sleep deprived? And we're learning instead to say that when I give myself the opportunity to rest, I'm so much more awake, aware, present in every moment. I can be fully attentive in the energies that are flowing in this now moment. And it's a powerful place to bring that energy into balance in our lives. We're all seeking balance. So now this week, we're moving into exploring the opposite. This is a really powerful place to go, is where we begin to say, what if what I believe is true is equally true in the opposite? If I'm willing to at least explore that idea, I stay in my curiosity. I open to that we all have our version of truth, our awareness that we bring. I learn to shift perception, open to other perceptions. And in that, I become a more infinite, higher level perceiver than one that is focused in, and this is all that exists for me, that I've cut off a major portion of the world. So we're going to be exploring the opposite. We also are going to be sourcing approval, control, and security. That means that I am committed to sourcing myself, and I source my own approval. I source that what is it that is control, where is control and security and safety in my world? It's really not in these outer experiences that I try to control. Number one, I can't. And number two, it doesn't ever bring me lasting sense of security. That comes from a sense of trusting myself, trusting the universe moment by moment by moment. And the last one we're working on this week is having enough of everything. When I come from a place of enoughness, I am enough. I have enough. There is an abundant source of the universe available to me, and I notice what I have, then I begin to bring that kind of abundance consciousness and prosperity out into my world. I trust that you'll find the way to live these in your own lives, and come join us 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. Blessings.